Alrighty, what an amazing showcase we had from Evie on music production. I learned a lot as someone who knows next to nothing about music production. I had a great time. We had our hi-hats, we had our low Pikmin farts, we had everything under the sun. Coming up next, we are gonna have another showcase. This is gonna be a nice long day. We got 2 more showcases ahead of you, so make sure to stick around. Um, but while you're here watching Attract Mode, I'd love to talk a little bit about Attract Mode. So Attract Mode is our bi-weekly showcase that we do here at Lady Arcaders. I've been a part of it a few times now, both in hosting and also with actually performing on there. You can do anything under the sun. Like I said earlier, you can cook, you can speed run, you can make music, you can draw, you can do pixel art, you can draw, you can create fashion, you can rhinestone. You can do all these things under the sun. It's so awesome. It's so easy to get into. It's super quick. If you go to ladyarcaders.gg, our website, you can submit your submissions for Attract Mode. I believe we are scheduling for the month of December right now. It's super fun. It's super easy to get into. If you're worried about not having commentary or wanting more support, everyone here at the Lady Arcaders team is here to support you every step of the way, whether that be commentary, whether that be advice, whether that be anything you need. We're all here to help. We're all here to make sure that everyone has a good time here. But yeah, so that's my little spiel about Attract Mode. It's a showcase that's near and dear to my heart as a part of this team. And I'm just gonna go ahead, if we're good to throw over to the next run. We're gonna have Vivid Stasis with LaurieDBunnykins. It's gonna be a rhythm showcase by her. It's a super intricate and it's just such a beautiful rhythm game, and we're gonna see some gnarly charts. We're gonna see some amazing skill on display. And I'm hearing now we're just gonna chill here for a little bit. You guys are stuck with me for a little bit longer while we're preparing the next showcase. Personally, I love how musical this Sunday is. It feels like a very musical Sunday. Both in like how it is outside for me right now. It's a little rainy outside for me right now. And that makes me want to sit inside and listen to music and play rhythm games. Come listen. Yeah, chat, how are we feeling about that First Steps cover that Evie did? How did we like it? Because I was here for the whole time. I really loved it. I loved an appearance from Commentator there at the end. A little fun little surprise that Evie had in store for us. While I have a short little second, I would also love to remind everyone, I mentioned it earlier, but the Lady Arcaders Advent Calendar today is the last day to submit your free games for a very fun December that we're all going to share together. Submissions are closing tonight at 11:59 Eastern. Any legally free game counts. This will be demos, abandonware, browser games, anything that you can think of that is free and legal to share with the Lady Arcaders community. Every single day we will be seeing a new game shared with us by our lovely Lady Arcaders members. And I would also love to remind everyone in chat, any support that y'all show to the Lady Arcaders is so appreciated. If you wanna help support the things that we do here, everything raised through bits, subscriptions, and our Ko-Fi, including the merch store, are put towards running our events, tech, and hosting for the Lady Arcaders. Every little bit is so appreciated, and yeah, thank you all. The merch is especially fire. I love my Lady Arcaders zip-up hoodie. It's my ride or die every day. Oh yes, and that is another thing that Sweet Peeps has reminded us in the chat. We do a question of the day, Monday through Thursday. So anyone who would like to submit a question to ask the Lady Arcaders community, please. It would be so welcome. It would be so appreciated. All right, and I'm hearing now from our lovely tech team that we are getting ready to be good to go here in just a few short moments. Alrighty, thank you all for sticking around for those short few moments. Coming up, we do have Vivid Stasis with LaurieDBunnykins. Get your 3s ready for this rhythm game showcase. Take it away.
All right, hello everybody. Yeah, welcome to Vivid Stasis. Let me go to a screen that makes sense. But yeah, hello. Vivid Stasis is a rhythm game that has what my understanding is the favorite thing of every Lady Arcader, which is cute girls and costing $0.
Very true.
Very true.
So today, this game has like 170 something songs, and I have a cute little 15, maybe a 16th if we have time, song to show you. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So do my two commentators want to introduce myself? Because they're probably going to talk more than me.
Yeah, I guess I'll go first. Hi, I'm Crealia. I just really love Vivid Stasis, and I'm here to learn as much about rhythm games as I can from Hallow and Laurie.
Hi, I'm Hallow Vivem. I also very much enjoy this game. Crealia and I are both at the sort of like low 15 rating area at the moment. Laurie is a lot better than both of us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can see my rating in the top corner is 18.282. I think there are like a single-digit amount of people who have 19 currently. So that's kind of
right.
where the very high end of the game is. But we're not going to start immediately at that high end. In fact, we're going to start at the very beginning with the first song you gain access to when you boot up the game for the first time. This is Grode by Dandalus.
So we're starting off super simple. This is a 4-key rhythm game. You'll see 4 lanes with notes coming down. Just the little rectangles are chip notes. You just have to press once. Long ones are hold notes, where you have to hold down for the duration of the note. There's no hold release timing, though. And then there are these colored notes, the bumpers, which can be hit with either button on the side of the highway that they're on. Which at this point in the game is still fairly easy to deal with, but sometimes, especially later in this showcase, you'll get to see a lot more bumpers going by very quickly that we have to think very hard about what finger we want to press it with. Rest assured, we are starting easy here. This is something that you can probably parse as an average viewer, most likely. But it's going to get a lot faster than this quite soon.
Yeah. This is definitely one of the chiller songs in the game and in the showcase.
Yes. I believe it's like the second easiest finale chart. There are 3 and sometimes a 4th difficulty for each song: opening, middle, finale, and then sometimes encore or backstage if the song has been given an additional chart. We're starting on finale here with Grode. We're going to be dancing around finale for a while, jump into, I think, one middle chart and then a bunch of encores near the end.
All
Nice.
right.
All critical.
Yeah, so this is a finale, but we are actually going to jump down to a middle next. But you see, each difficulty also comes with a number. So we're technically going from a finale to a medium, or a middle, a hard to a medium. But we are going up in number still, and that's still kind of the big thing. Coming up next, we have City Ride in the Jungle, which is another song that you're going to notice with the Grode and then this song. Something I really like about this game's charting, which is sometimes when you play a rhythm game, it feels like you're playing some like weird background part that doesn't matter and is not satisfying to play along with. I find this game's charting, I like to say it's very active, which is it very rarely does that to you. It very often just like throws you kind of like into the action with its chart, which I like.
Yeah, I don't think there is a chart where it has felt like I've been in this game, where it's felt like I've been searching for what I'm playing.
Yeah, this chart obviously charting a lot of the main sounds in the song, and you really feel like you get into it with these breakbeats. This song is one of a few collaboration songs in this showcase where the Vivid Stasis team pulled songs from other games. I believe they're all pretty much indie ones. This one from a different game. I forget which game it actually is, but it's by the same publisher, Sky Hour Works.
This one is How Ex Sora, The Skies Abound.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is developed by the team that also published Vivid Stasis, as well as a few other indie rhythm games, such as Beat Block, which came out very recently.
I still need to play Beat Block.
Yes,
and one of the lead developers from Sky Hour Works is also a developer at D-Cell Games, so you might recognize them if you are excited for the upcoming Unbeatable.
Unbeatable mentioned, mentioned.
Which also has a collab in this game, for reference.
Coming up in a couple weeks.
For what it's worth, the lead dev of this game, Cheryl, also did a whole bunch of charting for Unbeatable. Yeah. There's a lot of like working together among the indie rhythm game scene, and it's super awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna shout out another game later that also has a bunch of its staff in other games. We're gonna play a song from that game, but we'll get there. I'm getting a bit ahead of myself.
Yeah, we'll get there when we get there.
Coming up on the end of this one, you'll note that the scores sort of toward the end of the song will what's the word I'm looking for? Approach just over the 1 million mark. The maximum score you can get with all A crit judgments, absolute criticals, is 1,010,000.
Nice. Very small up score. Yeah,
nice up score.
Yeah, that is the up score I got just by getting more A criticals while I still have an all critical. The timing windows in this game are not big, so
yes.
Yeah, once you're down to the crit and the A crit range.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The good range is very generous, but
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, there are 5 judgments here. A crit is a little more precise than crit, but they score pretty similar points. So it's like if you miss an A crit, you're not losing that many points unless you miss a crit when you're down to a great or a good, or obviously a failed.
Mm-hmm.
The only one that drops combo, of course, is a fail.
Mm-hmm. And coming up next, we have Signal Safar. I don't have as much of a story behind this one. I just think it's a really good chart that also steps up to the 12 plus range, which is a difficulty we're going to post for a good few songs in here.
Yeah, a lot of finale charts are around the like 12, 13 range, so we're gonna be camping out there for a bit. But yeah, this is a significant jump up from the 10 plus we were just playing. Charts in this game range from 1 for the very easiest charts all the way up to 18, which has, I think, there are 2 18s in the game right now.
Yep.
Technically 3, or is it just 2? No, technically 3, but...
If you count secret charts, I think there's 3.
Yes, that's my point.
Yeah. Possibly
yeah.
4, actually. I don't remember.
There are 2 normal ones, though.
Yeah.
2 normal ones.
Yes. That's the important one. The secret charts are a little bit...
Yeah. So insofar as a chart that gets rated an 18 can be considered normal in the first place.
Yes.
But yeah, you'll start to see these bumpers here, especially in this part, you start to have to think more about which finger you're pressing them with. That's going to become a big theme later on.
Yeah. The nice thing about them, though, going back to the timing, is unlike chip notes, the bumpers have no real timing. You either hit them or you don't.
Yes.
And you have the full range of what would be a good on a chip note to hit a bumper with an A crit.
Yep. So they're quite generous despite their like puzzling nature, which is super nice. Likewise for hold notes, you can't hit anything between A crit and good. Good as if you hit it like super late, or drop it and then re-grab it. That's what a re-grab is, by the way. Before the end of the note. But obviously if you miss it, you get a failed. -1 from A crit.
Yeah. There's a bumper section there that I always get caught up on, but...
Yeah.
Hey, it's still an up score.
Still an up score, yeah.
We take that.
Alright, and going into another song that, not too much story behind this one. I just think this song is really good, and I've made 4 set lists for this game and haven't included it, so I had to.
The songs
or else I was going to be mad at myself.
This song is awesome. It also has such a satisfying opening, and the finale is also really satisfying to play.
This entire chart, I think, is one of my favorites in the entire game. We're at a 13 now, which is quite difficult, but still relatively manageable compared to some stuff we're going to see later. But we are getting to see like a wide variety of like styles of notes here, with these little rolled hold notes, and then some other. We'll start getting into a bit later into like what I forget who came up with the term, but like hold puzzles. One of you mentioned it in our practice commentary. But
I believe
a friend of mine came up with that.
Yeah. We'll start seeing more of those later, but at least in the meantime, we're just seeing a whole bunch of different sections to go along with the twists and turns of this just absolute banger of a song.
Fun fact about this one is before the launch out of around the time, rather, of the launch out of early access, there was a community poll where you could vote on a song that did not already have an encore chart to receive one. And this song was actually my vote for that.
There's a little preview of hold puzzles.
Yes. And now we're going to get into something you're going to see a whole lot more of later. Never mind, I am 1 section early. We are not to the streams yet. We have these sort of galloping sections here, which will also, to be fair, become much more common. But lots of chords in this section, which can be hard to read, especially for someone like me who is fairly good at streaming, but not good at hitting lots of different notes at once.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the streaming section. Just like fast chip notes all in a row. requires a lot in terms of speed. Once bumpers start getting integrated like they did there, it can start getting real confusing real fast as to, again, which finger you want to hit the bumpers with. Laurie handling that one with ease, of course, but there will be some later which will potentially cause her maybe a little more trouble. Would cause me a lot more trouble.
There's a stream section I'm really excited for, but really nervous about, because I could just, like, buster it. But I probably won't. Coming up...
Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, we're coming up on a song that is a little bit different in its gameplay. I mean, it's still going to be the same, you know, vertical scrolling, but you'll see what happens.
Yeah. The big thing with streaming is if you get, like, off the timing, it's sometimes very hard to catch back up because you're hitting notes late, like, while their timing window is still active, so you can't hit the next note on time. And it can get really tricky once notes start getting super fast. But anyway, this is our first gimmick chart. It has a visual gimmick to it here. This one is not too intense. And we also see the first appearance of some mine notes. If you hit them, you drop combo. If you don't hit them, you get an 8 crit. Nice and easy, just don't hit them.
Simply don't. But
get crazy, by the way. We see the visual gimmicks just sort of moving the chart around a bit to, like, accentuate little parts of the music, which is always a super fun way to really get into a chart. This is a pretty tame gimmick relatively. We're going to see 2 of the, or 3 of even, the most gimmicky charts in the game later in this showcase. We will have some flashing lights warnings at some point. Not yet, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not yet. This one's relatively mild.
Yes, and hitting these chords is as satisfying as it looks.
It's so good.
That little pause gimmick there is probably the hardest one in this song, and again, we'll be seeing that more later.
Of course, my favorite, the putting the note behind the hit bar, accompanied with the song.
No.
Oh.
Rough miss there, but hey, that's the first one of the showcase, so not bad. Yep. I played this song earlier, and I think I missed like 20 notes, so if that gives you anything of an idea as to how well Laurie is playing.
Also, something I like about this song visually that I will mention going forward, because it's going to be a part of every song. You might notice the little, like, diamond particles that float around on the sides during the song. And since we were talking about visuals, I really like those because they are usually, like, color-coded, and sometimes, like, the pattern they move in is tied to the song that you're playing.
Yeah.
So they're a lot of fun. And speaking of a song that's a lot of fun, and also makes me think of cute particles.
This might be the happiest song ever made.
Definitely puts a smile on my face every time. I love this song.
Yeah, we are already very much in the high BPM range, and it is going to get driven even higher later. We're at 195 at the moment. And you can see these 16th notes are real fast. When you see a lot of bumpers, it's not quite as hard to hit as it might look if they're on the same side, because you can trill between the 2 fingers on one hand, but still that is quite physically demanding. Laurie, of course, very accustomed to these and has played charts and will play charts in this showcase where those trills go even faster than this.
Yeah, you also have to be careful of overstrumming while you're doing that.
Yes.
Because it's very easy to trill that one
Yes.
bit too far and hit a subsequent note.
This game doesn't punish you for hitting a note when there isn't one there, which is something that's super forgiving about it and makes it, I think, more accessible than some other rhythm games. But with that said, if there is a note coming up and you do hit the key, you will get a fail for hitting it way too early.
Which, of course, the harder charts love to do after long trills.
Oh,
like
yes.
that.
This chart has a lot of really fast patterns, but they are still relatively simple compared to ones we may see later. You'll see a lot of those ladders where you're sort of going from one side to the other, or trills where you're just sort of staying on one side, which are relatively easy to read compared to some of the stuff we'll see later. Still very easily clearing the V rank here. despite the miss.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good run of that song. Again, that song is like fast and scary sometimes. Speaking of a song that can be very fast and scary, for this next song, we are going to go up to Encore for the first time. It is still only a 14, but it is Encores are usually, they like to get mean. It's also the daily bonus song of the day! Yeah!
You get extra points in battery for playing it, which you
Oh,
probably
I could. I spent all of mine on fishing.
Did we mention there's a fishing minigame? You won't find it for a while, but it's there. Worth talking about the story a little bit. This game has a really fantastic story. Characters that feel like very real, and playing this game is worth a lot of therapy sessions, I think, which is crazy considering the fact that it's free.
You know, that's fair. That's fair.
I cried a lot. But yeah, there is a whole like visual novel story aspect to this game, and you sort of unlock songs as you play through it. I think this one's in chapter 2 or 3 right now. And oh yeah, by the way, this is a stream chart until it isn't. But either way, there are also like plenty of puzzles to unlock more of the story, and it's kind of a mystery game in a way at times. It's a lot of fun if you are into that kind of thing. Highly recommend getting into it. If you just want to engage with that part and don't really want to play the rhythm game, you can do that too. You might still have to play it a little bit. I haven't played around with that accessibility setting all that much. But you can make all the unlocks super easy if you want to.
The most accessible version, you have to listen to the fantastic music, but
yes,
you can turn off all of the meters on the story and just do the visual novel and listen to some fantastic songs.
Yes. How many songs are there in this game? It's got to be like
171 right now.
171 it's in the standard menu.
Yeah, plus a couple.
Plus a couple. That number is going up a little bit more toward the end of this year with an event they have going on called Final Rush Party, which will happen in late December. But after that, the game is pretty much done. They're moving on to new projects, which is super exciting because it means we get more awesome rhythm games.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to their next projects so much.
Yes.
Speaking of the songs in this game, I think this song and its artist in particular is a good time to mention that this game actually takes the opportunity to kind of introduce a lot of artists to the rhythm game scene that are like not super big in it.
Yeah,
indeed.
And oh my goodness, so many of them knocked it out of the park.
Oh, yeah. A lot of them have gone on to have songs in other rhythm games since then, which is super awesome to see.
Funny story, this artist, whose name I'm not going to try to pronounce, and Lundy, the artist of The More I Carry On, both do boss songs in Chapter 2.
Yep.
So there's a fun little connection between them there. And speaking of artists with connections, we're actually going to be returning to Dandalus, the artist of our first song, for Crack in the Earth, a game that plays, or a song that plays much later in the game, and is much more difficult. And this is a part of the showcase where we're kind of just getting hard. Like, it's just gonna get more difficult going forward. And so I thought this would be a fun song to represent it. Because it's not gonna slow down.
Yeah, this chart is 1 minute and 48 seconds long, and once it gets going, it does not stop going. It just keeps going. It keeps going. Did I mention it keeps going? We're getting into the much more physically demanding part of the showcase. My fingers do not move this fast easily.
Mine neither.
With that said, this is one of my favorite songs in the game. There are a lot of my favorite songs in the game, to be fair. There's a lot of strong competition.
I frankly can't pick. I have the title to prove it.
We see a lot of short hold notes popping up here, which are especially sometimes tricky to read when they're being combined so much by the other, as they're called, tech notes being bumpers. This is, of course, a very technical chart. Wouldn't quite call it streaming most of the time, but it certainly feels like it with how fast it's going.
It's techy enough to stream when it can make things harder on us.
Yes, pretty much.
Streaming-esque.
Streaming for evil.
I want to focus on its ending a bit.
Yep.
That is my first on
Nice.
on that song.
Wow.
GG.
Oh,
well
wow.
done.
Okay. Yeah, that's my first beat.
Well
Yeah,
done.
that was
Big effort.
that was good. That was
Nice.
good.
Holy moly.
I remember the grind I went on to get just the full combo for the first time. That was good.
I remember the grind I went on to get the full combo on the middle chart for this.
Yeah, same.
And speaking of charts I played a lot, we're gonna head to a song that's pretty recent in this game, but I have played a lot in a different game, and it is my favorite song from that game. I mentioned there was a game that also had an indie rhythm game that also had a lot of like developers help around the sphere. Coming up, we have a song from Noise Starlight. This is Multifex. This is the first gimmick song where we are going to issue a flashing lights warning ahead of time. Hold on. What's the gimmick stat on this one?
It doesn't
It
exist.
doesn't show up because there's
Yeah.
a bug where it doesn't show up. It's not the 1102. That one's for specifically the
Yeah.
encore.
Yeah, that's for specifically the encore. We're gonna play the finale because I'm not gonna throw you up like 2 whole difficulties.
Yep. We see the return of mind notes here and a lot of really fast bursts in this intro.
And the gimmicks playing with the note field.
Yep. We see the scroll speed changing pretty significantly here, which can throw you off if you're not ready for it. And then these little sort of flammy chords, which are pretty hard. And now we get into the fun gimmick.
Yeah, the stutter. Oh, this gimmick is so
Accentuates them.
tricky.
It's really hard to get used to, but it does accentuate the song so well. We actually see the
Yeah,
chart sort of
it
flash
goes-
out of existence there for a moment.
Yeah, it works so well.
Yes.
The trick to it is that the notes are just moving normally. You just need to ignore it. But it's so hard.
Now the notes aren't moving normally, they're actually dancing
Yeah, now they're dancing.
because they're listening to this amazing music.
Yeah. And come on, you just have to.
My head has been bopping this entire showcase.
Yeah, same.
This is unironically one of my favorite visual effects in the game.
It's
the dancing.
so simple and
It's
it
so
doesn't
good, yeah.
mess you up at all, but
Yeah.
I think that's what part of what makes it so good.
There's a song where the
it's
notes like
cute.
slowly lean to the side, and I love that
Yes,
one so
that
much.
one is also great.
Yeah, here we have wave mod, where the notes sort of fall in this like wave pattern where they slow down and then speed up again. This one's hard to read, especially in this specific part where we have a whole lot of those 3-finger chords sort of getting squished together with notes in the other lanes, making it hard to tell which ones exactly are in the chords. And also, if you'll allow me a music nerd moment, we are metrically modulating.
I will allow you.
Oh, you thought this was a hardcore song?
I will allow
No,
you
it's
as
like
many
jaunty
musical
glitch
nerd moments as you like. It's such a good transition too.
It's incredibly clean for how like jarring a transition it is. And I think the best part of it is how cleanly it will go back in a moment as well.
Yeah. So the game this is from, Noise Starlight, is a rhythm bullet hell,
On mobile
and
as well.
yeah, on mobile, also free with in-app purchases, and it's amazing, and it makes use of these transitions to do all kinds of wild things in the bullet hell that you can't really do on a chart, but Vivid Stasis does its best and does very well.
Just barely getting an S plus there. The barrier for S plus is 1,004,000. So
Or double S
Wow.
plus. The player for S
Oh,
plus.
double
is
S plus. My bad.
decidedly
Double
lower.
yeah, my bad. Yeah, no, that song, you can see how many like early criticals I got there, just because there's so much happening.
Yeah, there's so much.
But it's
going
still a
on.
really fun one. I wanted to show it off. And speaking of really fun ones, when we were talking about potential favorite songs in the game, coming up next is one of my favorite songs in the game that isn't even my favorite song from this artist in this game. But this is... there's only one thing I want in chat for the next 3 minutes.
Colin 3. Oh.
Second music nerd moment of the showcase. This song, for a lot of its duration, is in 15/4 time. And no to the one chatter who says everything is 4/4 if you're brave enough. I'm not sure how to make this one work. It does get 4/4 later, but...
Everything is
But yes, this is an incredibly streamy chart. With some super fast, like, jackhammers, we call them as well. Usually shortened to jacks. But there's definitely no shortage of technical parts as well. As we see, like, a lot of hold notes and bumpers jumping in here.
This is one of my favorite parts of charting in the whole game.
It's so fun.
So good.
Little bit of a break here, but rest assured it will pick back up.
Yeah. What it picks up into is especially evil.
Yes. These little rolls here are incredibly evil with how they just sort of change what notes you're rolling. and hardly even look like rolls in this last bit. Laurie finally dropping AC.
My bad.
But like, the fact that you kept it that long is truly incredible.
Yeah.
And we're gonna see in a moment our first real iteration of like a chart having an end kill, which is basically a section where it sort of just takes the last few seconds to throw kind of everything it has at you, in case the rest of the chart wasn't hard enough. But this one is especially tricky because it's at the end of a 3-minute, 15-second song, and your fingers are very tired from all of the streaming you've already had to do.
Yeah, that one good.
That one good.
Yeah, that is, what is it? Probably not, like, my single most impressive thing is the AC on that chart, but it's maybe one of the favorite things I've done in this game, is AC this chart.
Awesome.
That's a really fun one.
That was incredible. Like, I am awestruck.
Well, we're only going up in difficulty from here. Coming up next, we have a song that has a funny connection to the previous one, actually. Something we forgot to mention about the last one is that it actually debuted in a tournament that happened for this game at the end of the last year. This song is also from that same tournament.
Yes. This is When the Dragon Falls. It's a very different vibe from the previous one, but both of them, I believe... was this one a tiebreaker? I know that Colon 3C was the tiebreaker for, I believe, the semifinals of Sunrise Showdown last year. This one was a little bit earlier in the tournament. But we see some real tricky chord patterns here, and lots of like quick bumper rolls, which are a little easier to hit than they look. But the tricky part, as always, is not hitting too many times and then hitting the next notes early.
Yep.
But as you can see, we are getting real fast, and here is a hold puzzle to remember. Having to remember which of your fingers has to be holding the key down while you are being relentlessly assaulted by notes at over 200 beats per minute is very hard, actually.
Absolutely. I also just, like, weirdly like the finger movement on this pattern.
Yeah,
this one's real satisfying.
Hold puzzles is they're really hard to read, but once you figure them out, they feel so good to hit. Because it's just like, oh, that's how it's supposed to feel.
Yeah. It feels like playing a really good section, just kind of reversing some of your intuition about it.
Exactly.
It still feels just as good.
There's a lot of jackhammering in this part of the song where you just sort of have to hit the same key over and over again and hope your finger doesn't slip off the time, because like with streams, hitting the same note a lot of times in a row is incredibly easy to drop off the pace on.
I don't know if we have any in this showcase, but it's when it goes fast enough, Laurie will sometimes just take both fingers to that one key just to make sure that she gets it done.
Yes. I think that is specifically one song, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which again is not in this showcase.
Oh my goodness. I started shaking. I have not gotten an AC attempt to that far. Yeah.
So very good.
Not an up score, but still a very impressive score.
Clearly, that's a song I should grind more.
Yeah. I mean, you nearly had it.
Yeah, I did. Now we're moving to the 16s. And at the 16 point, it's gone to, I've FC'd most, if not all, songs in this difficulty to absolutely not.
Oh,
Yep.
I
Forget
have
exactly
gotten
where
this
this
one.
one.
This one is really fun.
I forget exactly where this one shows up in the story, but it's certainly not that early.
Is it chapter
But, yeah.
5?
yeah. Chapter 5 sounds correct. Might be earlier than that.
That feels correct. I don't know why that feels correct. But either way, we're at level 16 now. We are officially at pretty much the peak of difficulty in this game. There are higher peaks, but like this is still the peak of difficulty. It's a peak of difficulty. It's like the South Summit.
Yeah, you can see those bumpers interrupting these streams in ways that are occasionally really hard to parse.
You first learn about what the bumpers are when you start playing this game. You're like, oh, well, that seems easy. I can hit it with
Yeah.
2 fingers. And then you start actually playing charts, especially once you get into difficulties like this. And it's like, bumpers are one of the most evil things about this game. Anyway, real fun hold puzzle here.
Yeah. Love this one.
Surprised the combo held through that. I like felt that float in my fingers. Me when I talk during the song, honestly.
Talking while playing these is so hard.
I have tried it. I have failed it many times.
Yeah.
I get about halfway through a sentence and then I'm like, nope, going back to focusing now.
Yep. Really, for me, it depends on how much I'm thinking about what I'm saying, which is not always great for broadcast. So I would definitely not
Those
try to do one of
bumpers
these.
are
Those are
real
so
fast.
Real fast is per snaps and understand. That was wild.
Oh, don't
These
worry,
final
Seth,
3
it'll
are...
get faster.
Yeah.
I every time I think surely it can't get faster and more difficult, and every time.
Mhm.
Well, it kind of won't with this one.
This one won't get technically faster, but it'll get a... I will say... re-upping the big flashing lights warning for the next 2 songs. This one is very jittery, and the next one has a lot going on.
It has some strobe effects in there. It's gonna seem real tame at first, and then we're gonna start throwing the notes all over the screen. Metaphorically, not all over the screen. That's different charts, but it's they move around a whole lot on this one, and the scroll speed gets messed with in ways previously not seen up to this point in the story. This is one of the boss songs from the final chapter of the story, so you won't unlock this for a very long time if you're playing this game, but boy is it worth it. Those final 4 boss songs, or final 5 boss songs feel like the real...
satisfying.
They're so fun to play, and they're a really fitting climax to the end of the story. Have I talked enough about the story? Have I talked enough about how this game is free?
No. There's always more to say.
This game is free, by the way. You can just go download it on Steam right now and start playing. And learn the story of one troubled Saturday Tassogare.
Oh.
Anyway,
She's not
here's the
troubled.
flashy
She's doing
part.
just fine.
Yeah, here's the very flashy part. I don't even know how that section looks on broadcast, but
Yes.
That is so
Broadcast
hard
is
to
at
read.
30 frames, it's relatively okay. If broadcast is at 60 frames, you get the full force of it.
Yeah, it's incredibly hard to see what's going on in the chart in that section.
But yeah, here we see the notes all sort of pausing again. And it messes with you if you're not ready for it. I have played this chart, or not this specific chart, but lower difficulties of the same song a whole lot, so I'm like quite used to it at this point, but the first time you play this, you're just like, what is going on?
I've played this chart to about this point, and that's the point where I fall off it. With the notes doing all sorts of dancing.
Yeah, you'll notice in the bottom left, my accuracy is like all over the place.
I love the end, just the way that one chord sort of flows into the second one visually.
Like, I didn't miss a lot, but I got a lot of grades.
Yeah, first score below the double S level in the showcase.
Yeah.
Which shows how hard the gimmicks are, despite the fact that technically the chart isn't all that physically demanding.
Like, there's a good chance this next song I score higher than I did on the previous one, but like miss some more. That being said, this song is one of the 2 17s I have. This is Lorelei by Camellia. And if you know a rhythm game, you see Camelia's name and you're scared now. Reminder that this song also has an flashing lights warning.
Yes. This song featured first in the grand finals tiebreaker for an Adify tournament, A Dance of Fire and Ice. Chart in that game decidedly somehow even more ridiculous than this one is, but that's just Adify in general. You see giant chord stacks in the start here. That'll be a theme throughout this chart. There are a lot of chords. Everything's really fast. It does not get much harder than this. But we get this really awesome laser show in the background sometimes. It's just the visual gimmicks were really taken to the next level on this one as well.
Including, I think, our first instance of the colorblind gimmick, which I at least find it makes it really hard to see the blue bumpers.
Yes. Having to hit those hold notes, which are, you sort of have to pay attention to them, coming in and out, while also hitting bumpers on the other lane is very tricky.
Yeah, this part in particular. Thankfully, with the part with just all the holds and bumpers, the pattern there is really hard. But because of the way holds and bumpers work, if I hit it, I get all criticals on it, and I look awesome.
This section is just so satisfying.
It is. Another big hold puzzle. Those really are so satisfying.
Yeah, definitely up there among the hardest, just pure hold sections in the game. I'm always just mesmerized whenever I'm not playing this chart and I can just watch the light show.
I know. It's so good. This chart has some of the best visual gimmicks in the normal game.
all pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we said, not a double S, but I did get higher score than the previous song.
Yes.
Ah, that song is so cool. And
Yeah, it's
can
so
I ask
cool.
what our timer is at?
Right now, we are sitting at a 46:15-ish, so you have
And what's-
about just 13 minutes or so left in the showcase.
Okay. So
Oh,
I
sick.
only had... I guess I overestimated how long this was, because I only technically had one song left. But we can add 2 more, I guess.
That's good.
On top of the original plan for the final song. This is Disparla by Esame, and if y'all want to explain what this song is about, you'll see why I thought it was a pretty fitting final song.
Yeah, so this song is a backstage or sort of like alternate version of a different song in the game called Execution Program, which you don't unlock until you have like some very high score on Execution Program, which itself is an incredibly hard finale chart. But it actually samples a whole bunch of other songs from earlier in the game, and the title is an acronym of those songs.
And hopefully, in the upper left corner, you can see which songs it's sampling.
Yep. I'm not sure if we actually played any of those other songs, though.
We did not.
Yeah, but it's a mix of like songs that are really super important to this game's story, and also just some other songs which are just really good songs that are originals for this game. This game has something like, it's got to be at least like 50 songs that sort of like debuted just for this game in particular.
Yeah.
Which, for a free rhythm game, is really impressive, but that's also
It's-
very, very much how it was developed, was with a lot of help from the community and with a lot of interest in getting new people into this community.
And you can join the community by going and getting the game for free on Steam. I will keep saying this.
And you should, because again, it's free on Steam and awesome.
Yeah, that's one of the hardest parts there.
Yeah, some of those chords in there, or like little sections where there are incredibly dense notes which you sort of have to roll between real quick. Very hard to read, hard to hit as well, because you kind of just want to slam all your fingers on the keyboard at the same time if you're not that good at this game like I am. If you're good at this game like Laurie, you know what the pattern is, and they're still hard to hit. Yeah, so this song really picks up somehow even more toward the end here, getting into just some ridiculous end kill sections. Because the rest of the chart wasn't hard enough.
Also, if you've been paying attention to the samples, you might have noticed we never saw a song with L in the name yet.
Found it.
There you are.
Just to bring its end kill back. This last one
Yeah.
also has a big end kill.
Mm-hmm. That was I played this chart so much in the past weekend. So yeah, that was not one of my better runs of the weekend, and it was still over 1 million.
Very nice.
Laurie had an attempt in practice which had, I think, 1 miss.
Yeah. So that's a really fun one. But I'm at around 50 minutes. I have time for like what? I'd say 2 more songs.
2 more.
Yes,
yeah,
you are good to go for 2 more songs.
Okay, so the first one I'm actually going to exit out of the main menu here and press a secret button a lot. This is the Boundary Shatter menu. It's a menu where a lot of jokes and April Fool's bonuses and a few other cool things show up. The song I'm going to play from this, y'all, the people in the call don't know which one I'm picking yet.
No, actually.
Because we're doing this right now. But I think it's only fair to play one of its more recent editions. This is a good one.
Let's go.
Oh, it's
Thank
spinning.
you.
Oh, it's spinning.
I have not played this chart in a little bit, so sorry if I'm bad at it. But
spinning so much.
the skill of this chart is not what's important.
Oh, I love this chart so much.
technically
It's so
difficult.
dumb.
The entire difficulty of this chart comes from figuring out what the heck is happening.
It's rotating. That's all
Well, you
that's
see,
happening.
blue
It's
is left
rotating.
and red is
Yeah.
right. So you just gotta keep that in mind.
Yes.
Oh.
This was this year's April Fool's chart.
Oh,
Yes, this
This
beat
chart
goes
so much.
presidential.
yep.
I love the presidential whimsical button.
Also, shout out to the charter for this, Taro Nuke v the DMV. Another name you'll recognize from Noise Starlight, and
Yes.
Also a collaborator on one of Stelly's upcoming projects.
Yes. They're working together on another rhythm game, Spherine, which we don't know that much about yet, but we know it's going to be a rhythm game for controllers, so if you're excited about that, just like keep posted with Hajimeli's social media. But anyway, back to this chart. This is just silly.
I'm so happy right now. I love the gimmicks in this game so much. They have always been what's drawn me to rhythm games, and I didn't know Vivid Stasis was going to be so gimmick heavy when I picked it up, and I was pleasantly pleased or surprised.
Yeah, so when we said Farina's Pygmalion was actually one of the most gimmicky songs in the showcase,
Yeah.
or the most gimmicky, we lied.
Apparently we were lying. This is so gimmicky it isn't in the normal arcade.
I hope you like bitrate. We don't got much of that anymore.
No.
That one's really fun.
Hey, we got the S.
We got the
Let's
S
go.
rank. That's my first one.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yo.
Nice. Very
Massive
nice.
score.
Now this does not count for rating.
Yes.
But
It's listed as a 0 difficulty. It's a silly
Yeah.
chart.
the last song I'm gonna play definitely would count for rating if you're good enough. I want to take this moment to quickly shout out fast-paced events. In a week, they're going to be hosting Fast-Paced for Pride 2025, which is raising money. I don't remember the full name. I think it's Global Action for Trans Equality, or GATE. So that's going to be a really fun time. I want to shout it out because I'm going to be playing Vivid Stasis at that. I believe I'm currently scheduled as the second to last run of the whole event. So that's exciting. And if you check that out, obviously you can raise money for a great cause. You can also see multiple songs, such as a few of the songs featured as samples in Desparilla, my personal favorite song in the game, and also one of the 2 18s that are featured in this game, the hardest songs in the game. But since we have extra time, and I don't have another event planned in the near future, and I've never played the other 18 that I'm not going to be playing next week in an event, we can end off this this set list, this showcase a little bit special. This is the harder of the 2 18s in the game.
Yes. This is Apocalypse Call, heading back to the Sunrise Showdown tournament. This was the grand finals tiebreaker. When it was added, it was the first 17. It has since been upgraded to an 18 because it is just that hard. We got gimmicks, we got fast streams, we have literally everything in this chart.
What I'm doing right now is the opener.
I believe if it has for some reason left, the flashing lights warning should return.
Yes, probably.
Flashing lights warning is still on the stream right now.
Good.
Good luck.
Anyway, you might notice some of these bumpers look a little bit different. Remember all that stuff we said about bumpers not really having timing windows, so they're really forgiving? Yeah, these ones have timing windows.
Yep. Gotta treat them like chip notes and figure out what you're hitting with them.
Yes. There are very fun live reactions of like a player. I think there's at least one up there that's like a player who was in the tournament just reacting to this chart being revealed as an Encore 17. But yeah, we jumped straight past the 17 pluses, of which there are, I wouldn't say a wealth, but quite a few.
I don't think there aren't any more.
17 pluses? There are plenty.
Are there?
Yeah,
I think there are songs that are technically 17.6 or higher, but I don't know if it displays as plus anymore.
Pretty sure it does.
I think it does.
I don't
Pretty sure
remember.
it does.
Anyway, why am I talking during this time?
I don't know.
Yes.
You can also see a lot of my personal least favorite pattern in the game, the bumper covering another note. Because we've mentioned earlier that you can hit the bumpers with either finger on that side. But of course, if there's a note you need to hit after that, well, you only have one choice, or you're going to miss that note.
We get a nice slow section here in the middle, as we do with a lot of songs like this. Don't worry, that won't last very long. We're going to see as we get toward the climax of this song, the score counter is quite literally struggling to keep up with how fast the notes go during this part of the song, and especially at the end. So it's going to just keep ticking up pretty much permanently until far after Laurie has hit the last notes.
And of course, it wouldn't be a tournament song without a good kill section.
Yes, this is a very long end kill. So much so that the notes in it are probably like a sixth to a fifth of the notes in the chart. It just keeps going and gets progressively harder to read as the gimmick comes up. Whew.
And that is gonna be time on the showcase.
And that is time.
Close
to the score.
Not a high score. I didn't really feel like amazing about that play, but I don't really feel amazing about any play of this song. But like even compared to my high score, I didn't think it was gonna be it. But that was still, I mean, just showing that song off is just fun and wild. But yeah, that is the end of the Viv Stasis showcase.
Well, yeah, that was delightful. Where can the folks in Twitch chat find you guys?
I guess I'll go first. I stream very rarely at twitch.tv/LaurieDBunnykins. I post questionably as LaurieDBunnykins on Blue Sky, and you are not allowed to perceive me otherwise.
I stream on Twitch semi-regularly, sort of spontaneously at just Hallow. I post on Blue Sky as well, I guess.
Yeah, I don't stream all that much right now, but probably will start streaming later on twitch.tv/Gralia. And I usually speedrun Tunic. You can actually find me an event coming up next week. I'll be on GDQ's Neurodivergent and Disability Special.
I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, I am too.
I'll also be on that. I will be the run before you.
Yeah, that's right, you will.
I'll be playing Pseudo Regalia for that, so that's exciting.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for that amazing, wonderful showcase. That was truly a treat to behold, I will say. I have one last thing to say while I'm over here. I would just like to remind everyone... Oh. I would like to remind everyone to stick around. We're just going to take a short little break, and then we will be right back for our next showcase coming up, which is going to be Vampire the Masquerade Bloodline.